Alright guys, this is probably gonna be like my final build for the Bleed Mage here. Um, Now that Astra Menace has become cheaper after the patch, we are doing stat stacking now. Before I was stat stacking also, and I was using the Wrath Pit, Health, Sacred, and then also offhand with the Crown of Eyes to scale spell damage using spell blade here, but we're going to go full, pretty much just damage using Sacred Flame, and I have Alpha Wolf here just so I can Alpha House so I can get that enough spirits I can run either Trinity or what I have here is Elemental Conflux. This is definitely better for bossing, and this I just swap it out when I'm doing mapping. Um, I'm wearing the heroic armor. This gives me 35% elemental resist to all, and it gives me 3 free heralds. And this is going to be able to trigger a free. I can remove Herald Thunder, that removes a slot. I replace that with Elemental Conflux. And we're doing the reverse here with the Thunder, going with Innervate for the extra lightning damage. Also, Ice Bite, uh, gain 30% cold damage, and then Glaceon for the freeze up for my charges, frenzy charges, and then just embitter, and this is gonna pretty much any other type of damage is cold. The gain is extra cold, so innervate, although it gives you 30% extra lightning damage, is gonna actually turn into cold now. So we're doing cold damage with our thunder, and then our ice is gonna trigger immolate. We're gonna use fire damage. This is for Trinity. Um, Not necessarily needed for bossing since I'm using Elemental Conflux for bossing. I don't think Trinity for bossing really matters because I'm killing the boss in like 2-3 seconds anyways. You're not gonna have time to build up those resonance charges to get that damage. But with Elemental Conflux, it's gonna constantly change the elemental damage, and hopefully when you hit the boss, it's gonna be on lightning or fire because that's 30% gain is fire here, and also we have a lot of base lightning damage. I also have a lot of cold damage too from this ring. Now, not a lot of stuff's not necessary for this build. This is just me min maxing to the T here. I made a really good ring here. It gives me everything I need, some stats for stat stacking, and Astra Menace, like I said, it's cheaper now, so a lot of builds are going to be stat stacking with Astra Menace. Um, Other than that, I have Calandra, which is cheaper. I got this as a drop after the patch, so it's gonna mirror this ring. I'm getting plenty of cold lightning, fire damage. Definitely great for Trinity. Also fizz damage here. This is probably one of the best rings you can get. Even I had break one of my +2 prefix and -2 suffix, but I think this one is better because I'm able to get 15% all elemental resist. This build really needs res because I'm using Hand of Wisdom, 1 to 12 corruption. These are actually pretty cheap. I got this for like I think 30 chaos orbs. It's like a div and a half, div and a quarter, whatever. But 1 or 2 lightning damage per 20 intelligence. Definitely really good because we have Astra Menace, and then we're gonna stat stack. And in our tree, we are running all the way down here, and we're grabbing Jack of all trades, 2% extra damage per every 5 of your lowest attribute. So I just had to make sure my attributes were all aligned together, and this is like a perfect attribute. If you look, they're all at 300, 308, 305, 306. So the lowest one is 305. That means every 100 dexterity, I'm getting 50% more damage. That's 150 damage here extra. And with int, I'm getting 1 to 12 int for every 20 intellect, 1 to 12 lightning damage. And as remember, we're playing blood mage, so we are getting our bleeds, and it's going to be our elemental damage is contributed to the magnitude bleed, so elemental damage is lightning damage. So yeah, just taking all the crit nodes. Right now I am running a tango with 21.8%. You can definitely get these really cheap. What I did was I pretty much just bought like tangos that were uncorrupted for like 3-4 chaos. I don't know what the price is now, even cheaper. And I was just, or you just buy one with 21% or whatever percentage you need to crit cap yourself once you crit cap yourself, I'm like right now I'm at, 99.8%. So that's 100% for me, and I'm at 594 crit bonus, and that's not including core spike, which is for 1% per life. So I probably at 2000 life, I'm probably getting roughly 20-30% extra bonus damage, but that's still pretty huge. I was running ES before and making me have bigger health pool. I do have that build. I might switch over to it and do another video later. If you guys are running ES, this build has no ES. I'm at a 153 ES. I'm gonna try to get more evasion. Probably just moving some stuff around, but I really don't see where I'm gonna get more evasion now at this point. I like playing. I played Ranger LS, and I love the movement speed, attack speed when I'm mapping. And if I were to play bleed, a pure bleed character, I'm gonna have to sacrifice attack speed and movement speed, and I hated that. So I'm grabbing all my attacks, movement speed wherever I can because we're not running through here to grabbing all this like our ranger anymore. Um, so I'm still grabbing step like miss, and these are I can probably take these points out and put it somewhere else. Definitely, but I just can't see myself losing 4% movement speed and then plus the 5 intellect here, and increase evasion, and energy shield. Technically, in the future, I probably have to sacrifice this. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 points. I could put these 4 points definitely somewhere else here. 4% speed, I can definitely sacrifice, actually. I'm going to have to really think about this again. But other than that, I'll just leave this here for the attack speed and the dex and int. But yeah, this I can probably sacrifice because, maximum energy shield. I'm not running energy shield, so I really don't need it. I can probably take these 4 points and literally scatter it somewhere else. Maybe grab myself. Ooh, I don't know where I would go with this actually. Maybe some more damage somewhere. Lightning rod. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would have to level up one more, or I have to take out this. The reason why I'm using minor matter here to grab all these 3 nodes, and a lot of people don't grab this node, is because maybe they don't want to use a weapon set 2. This 30% magnitude of non-damaging elements is actually very important, and I'll show you why. Actually, you guys saw it when I was using it earlier, and my weapon set 2, I am switching over to this setup where I am going to be, I corrupted this for 74%. You can get definitely buy for higher. This is probably fairly cheap. You can find it on the 4% increased chance of shock, and this is 50% increased skill effect duration. So skill effect duration is the lances or anything skill effect. This is only for me to launch this. So with Stormlance, I'm gonna be setting Stormlance. Where is that? Stormlance. This is not for damage. I'm putting in scatter shot for 3 shots. I can fire twice. I have 4 lances. Conduction, 100% more chance of shock. It's gonna be exposure. I'll probably get like a plus 21 and put another support gem here for more, I don't know, more magnitude or something like that. But, increase 50% magnitude of shock. And I'm going to throw this on the ground. And the moment, this is only weapon set 2, everything else I have damage-wise are all weapon set 1. So the moment I use anything, pretty much I use Infernal Cry first, twice, because I'm running Infernal Cry for second wind, Ingenuity. I'm going to hit the boss with Infernal Cry twice. It's going to give me my rage. It's not going to give me max rage, probably like 24 to 22, because, this, gets, this consumes the rage for 30% more damage and power damage. This gives you 4 rage per 5 power on counted enemies. And I believe that is only like 4. A boss is only like 4. So definitely, it doesn't give you max rage, but it's definitely really fast. Anyways, so with weapon set 2, we are going to go into as much shock as possible. I'm getting shock chance. I want to shock, increase chance of shock. Magnitude, more magnitude means it's going to take more damage. This is really good here. Take frazzle, increase chance of shock duration. I'm not throwing voltaic marks. I'm not going to shock him, but I think this is the best path. And this is actually very important here, is increase damage enemies that, are hit with non elemental ailments, which is shock, you know, lightning exposure, lightning exposure. A lot of increased damage here, okay, and duration of shock. Definitely can probably go in here a little bit, but I haven't really tried this really. But I think on Zest earlier, I almost bled him out. Usually I do bleed him out. I probably didn't move away fast enough to get more damage. But all in all, that Zest kill is very fast. I literally could just blood hunt him at any point, kill him within 1-2 seconds. But just show you guys the damage of the bleed. But this is very important. So whenever I do the weapon, oh, here is important too. It's just magnitude of shock. More magnitude, the better. It's gonna just increase the damage he receives when he's under that. So once I hit that, once I do Infernal Cry twice, it's gonna switch me back over to weapon set 1, which all my damages are at. And at that point, I'm just gonna rake him, move away as fast as I can, so I can get that damage bonus from moving away from the enemy from a sport gem. And you either bleed him out or you can just blood hunt real quick and kill him. But I show the bleed out because I want to show the damage. This is probably my final form of this. I think the only thing I can really do with this, honestly, is just get a megalomaniac and have pure power, and that just increases lightning damage per 10 intelligence, which is huge because I'm stat stacking, which is probably what I'm gonna do. I'm trying to farm it. If not, I'm gonna buy it. But this build right here is very versatile. You don't have to switch anything out. You don't have to switch helmet out. I'm using Alpha Howl. If you don't want Alpha Howl, and you want just to, self cast your temporal chains, do that. Only reason why I have a Howl is I don't want to cast temporal chain. Okay, temporal chain is gonna be on all times, so it's gonna it's gonna curse it and have all the magnify effect, heightened curse, ritualist curse, decaying hex. I don't know if this really matters. It does damage 100% of my intelligence as chaos damage for 8 seconds. I'm pretty sure that factored in there somehow. But this increases aggravated bleeding and also the damage on the magnitude of the everything that you throw on the boss. And pretty much Wind Dancer, and these are the other two. The reason why I really like using Sacred for this build is because you get a free slot. I'm not using the rings that give me the slot, so I need slots for all these skills, and I think this is like the easiest thing that you can do. This build is definitely expensive, but if you're on a budget, take out the Astral Menace. Without the Astral Menace, and you have Polymathy and Jack of all trades, you're good to go. You get a tri-res breach ring somewhere here, and then a flat damage, ring. Great. I just use this Kalandra because I don't have. I mean, I could probably get a tri damage in here with 3 damage, and try to craft that. It's gonna cost me some coins, but I'd rather just mirror this and just get more damage. And maybe I will do it. But just the res is where I'm at. I have pretty good on res here, 96, 83. A lot of cold, don't need it. And I even have 46 chaos damage res, There's still a lot. Like with this, I can literally run Headhunter and still be okay. If I wanted to, I can run Headhunter and still be okay. Because I can just, because Headhunter, I would have more stats and I'll be able to map better. But yeah, like with what I'm running right now, I can run Headhunter and still be okay. Move some points around because 15% all elemental res mirrored, that's 30% plus 35%. That's huge. Haven't corrupted this yet. I don't want to until I get another one. But this is one of those things where I'm playing stat stacking. Is I'm not taking any of these nodes here. I'm not gonna make this really too long. A lot of blood mages will go into these and gives you more damage, crit hit, and stuff like that. 20% chance aggravate the bleeding target crit hit with 10. You don't really need that because you already have aggravated. Bleeding you inflict is already aggravated. I don't see why you need that. And some people run over here and grab these points where increased damage, enemies hit full life, increased bonus damage. This is great. But it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 points. I honestly would rather run all the way down here and grab all this. If I were to do that, but the problem with that is if I take this, it means that I have to hit him when he's full life. What have I missed? Or I don't like having to oh, I have to hit the boss at full life, And this for mapping makes no sense, So that's why this for mapping is a lot better, because I get the attack speed from the dexterity. It might not be a lot because it's only 1% per 20 dexterity, but that's 5% per 100, 15% attack speed. Great, amazing. And yeah, I'm losing out the +2 in the gloves. I'm losing out the +3, on the amulet, but and the spirit. But my damage is very high enough. 131,000 for lightning spear, 130,000 for blood hunt. This is without factoring in elemental conflux. If elemental conflux were to proc during lightning damage, this would jack it up 76%, 72%. And I think that's way more than enough damage what I need to be doing. So I don't need that +2 melee skills. And I mean, this build is already like amazing as it is, amazing for mapping. It, I just hated when I was running full bleed. It was only for bossing. I was using this thing only for bossing because slow movement speed and also slow AS. I don't like that. So I prefer just running maps. Like I say, if I were to run maps right now, let's do a map. I just switch this out and just swap these in for Trinity. I have my reverse, so I'm gonna throw in a map and run it. I guess you can just bear with me here since I'm just gonna let's do Bloomfield. Um, Whatever, just run the maps. And another great thing is this chest piece: enemies in your presence, no elemental resist. This brings it down to the low resistance. It's kind of crazy. And with Alpha Howl, I have a crazy presence. This is my presence with Alpha Howl right here. Okay, guys, look how large that is. That's the screen right there. So I don't need Aziz beacon. And watch the damage. It's pretty tanky. And remember, as a blood mage, we're gonna be overflowing our health also. I'm fully capped on res. I don't think anything will kill me. And it's just, yeah. Look at my resonance, guys. Full bars and everything. And I'll show you guys the LS damage once it's a full bar. How about that? 416,000. I think I've gotten up to like 500,000. I mean, self buff, 400, 500,000 LS, plenty for what you need in mapping. You can carry 6 people with that. This boss is so annoying. I wanted to show you guys the debuff here with this boss, so it's easier to see the debuffs on him. I was looking at the debuffs too long. Yep, I got clapped, but whatever. So I already leveled, so I mean it's okay. But yeah, other than that anticlimactic getting clapped at the end, you either way you're not eating that full damage there. But that's why this boss is annoying. Anyways, this is at 96. So if those guys are running it, I'll probably put this on as a mobilytics or something in the link by the time I posted this. So if you guys wanted to play this, FYI, don't take that hit. I think that map had like, let's say, I think more damage. It's pretty 80% delirious. So yeah, you gotta remember this that map boss was 88% delirious. You know, additional toughness. It's definitely rough. Other than that, yeah. So yeah, I hope you guys like this build. I might switch over to the ES build and show you guys how that works with the Wrath Pit, the offhand for the Blood Mage, and the Crown of Eyes. I don't know how the damage is gonna be compared to the stat stacking, but I really enjoyed this because of the movement speed and the ability to attack. ES would be nice, but I'll be honest with you, other than the fact that I just stood there and ate that, slam, uh, I'm not gonna die anytime soon. I just leveled. I think 96 is where I'm gonna stay at. Really, no more min maxing here, other than these points, and then just I don't know. I gotta figure out where I want to put them. I can sacrifice this for 10% skill speed and movement speed, to bring it somewhere else and bring more damage. Maybe some slots here, but I don't know where else I would go with that. Really, those points. I mean, you can put it here in Herald, but I'm not gonna make this video long. That's it for me, guys. I'll probably post some mobilytics or something. I'm not really into that stuff. Just playing for fun. Hope you guys like the build. And this is build definitely inspired by a few other streamers that I've seen play Blood Mage. I just removed certain things I didn't need. You can definitely adjust the crit chance, the crit bonus, depending on what you need. If you're crit capped or not. We need more crit bonus, but it's just the damage is insane. As you saw in the beginning with the Xest T4. I literally almost bled him out without even blood hunt. I've done it before. You just gotta hit it right and just move away fast enough. Other than that, that's it for me. I'll catch you guys later.